are joined with the ones, the onlys, Vishal and Richa from Family Karma.
Hey, how's it going?
What is going on? I mean, Family Karma season 3. How did we get here?
It's the best season yet, right?
It's a wild season.
It is. I mean, did you ever think, like, when you said yes to this reality show 3 seasons ago, you'd be here in the wildest season yet with all of this going on?
I don't think I ever thought we would be here sharing as much as we're sharing, going through all that we're going through right now.
From where we started, from how closed off
oh
we
my God,
were
yes.
in the beginning to how open all of us
We're
are.
too open now. We're like way too open.
And not just us, but just our parents too. They were very hesitant at first, and now look at them.
Did you guys, I mean, you guys really feel that, like, you felt in the beginning, because like you knew what reality TV was, right? Like you kind of knew what to expect, yes, but you still felt like closed off, so to speak.
So I'm a big Bravo fan. I've been watching Bravo for years. So when he kind of was like, oh my God, we're going to be on Bravo, I was like, oh my God, hell no. Because I know exactly what happens on Bravo. You're going to ruin our relationship. We're going to be like batshit crazy. But so I think season 1, we were really, really reserved.
Yeah.
And I think all of you are, right? I mean, do you attribute any of that, just to like the Indian culture, like, and you say your parents, like, I mean, and was it hard to get like someone on board in this cast, or like who kind of held out?
Yeah, absolutely. I think as a culture, the Indian culture, we're very reserved. We want to keep all our issues between the 4 walls of our house. And you always want to like maintain
the perfect image.
Exactly. So getting the parents on board, I think was the hardest part because they were like, no.
And Richa, did you really worry about that? Because you're right. Like you look at Bravo, it's, no offense to them, but it's just a reality show in general. Like, there are a lot of divorces and breakups and, even friendships that have existed for like years and years and years as you guys move closer together. Like, did you worry about, like this might, because you guys have been together for so long, like, did you worry this might affect our relationship?
I was worried about our relationship, but I think bigger than that, I was really worried about how the Indian community would see us. I think that was the biggest concern because we're both really heavily involved in both our communities, and disappointing the community was something that we were like, I think the entire cast was really scared to do. But luckily, I think the show has been a blessing, and everyone in the community has loved it. And we've kind of showcased who we are as Indians, like first generation born here. But I think that was our biggest concern, was more just disappointing, like how Indians are looked at and like how the community would look at us.
And more importantly, like how our families would look at us.
Yeah.
Disappointing them.
And how, like, as you guys watch back, each week, and now we're in season 3, like, how do you think the Indian community is being represented by this show? You think that everyone's doing a good job? And
I think it's fantastic. I think it showcases that, we're just like everybody else. We go through the same issues, but a little bit more intertwined because of our family dynamics.
Have you heard any, like, I know the Shahs went through this in the beginning, and there was like, have you heard any like mixed, like, have you heard any negative feedback from the community?
No, I mean, knock on wood, everyone that I've spoken to about it's really happy. I don't think anyone has said one bad thing about it, that we've opened non-Indians up to the Indian community. The community really loves it because they're like, what, we can relate, like this is happening in our own families. So I haven't heard anything bad, which makes us really proud and makes us, love doing it now.
Yeah, pleasantly surprised by the reception. Honestly, it was, we were very nervous going into it, and the reception has been tremendous.
Well, you say, you know Bravo and what could happen to relationships, but listen, here you guys are, season 3, you are married. We saw it on the TV. It looked like a great, shindig. Like, was there anything that like we didn't see, any major? Because look, I mean, I understand, there's hours and hours that have to be boiled down into. I mean, it just looked like such a great event. Like anything that you guys that we didn't see that was kind of a highlight for the two of you?
Yeah, like Indian weddings. Our wedding was 4 days nonstop. What were some of the events that weren't highlighted?
So normally when a guest arrives, you're supposed to welcome them with like the dole players, the guys that play the drums. So I unfortunately was getting ready and doing my henna still at that time. So he was out there welcoming all the guests with all the drums. So that's always really exciting. That's the first time you see everyone. They're arriving off their long flight, and like the party starts
right
like as they
guests
walk
arrive.
into the door of the hotel.
Loud music, loud dancing right from the start. And
you set the mood for the wedding the moment the guests literally step foot on the threshold of the door.
Absolutely. And then another part that wasn't showcased, we had an after party after the Sangeet. So
yes,
that was
wild,
a shit show.
Well, I mean, you know, people say when you're married that it feels different. So like, does it feel different? You guys have been together for so long. Like now that you're officially married, does anything feel different for the two of you?
I say no. I know he's going to say yes.
Why would you say no? I think I say yes because, you know, now that I have the husband title, now that she has the wife title, I think it's just a little bit harder for us to leave each other. And I think at the end of the day,
you just trapped me. You won't let me leave. That's the difference.
At the end of the day,
you won't let me leave.
At the end of the day, at the end of the day, let me lose my train of thought. At the end of the day, what? No, I think now we are like forced to resolve issues. You know, at the end of the day, like we can't leave each other as quickly, and we're forced to deal with our.
We didn't leave each other for 10 years prior.
Oh my God, you left me 3 times already.
I tried leaving him, it didn't work. Gave up. I got tired.
But I mean, is it really official? Like we saw, you know, you guys haven't, you know, signed the paper, you know, on the marriage certificate on. Like, have you guys now? I mean,
you have to. You
need to keep watching.
Okay, so we have more of this as the season goes on.
Yeah.
Have you guys learned anything about each other? I mean, like you said, you were together for 10 years. Like, is it now that you're married, have you like had some major discovery, or now you guys knew everything?
You know, it's interesting. I talked to a couple of my other girlfriends. So wedding planning, you learn a lot about someone. Even if I've been with him for 10 years, you learn a lot about them. So like me not changing my last name was like a conversation that I thought had been had like many, many moons ago. And that seemed to be brought up again, which was very interesting to me about how like stuck he was on an idea. But you find out like those small little things about someone while wedding planning.
Yeah, you know, like, and changing your first name too, you know. It's a Cindy tradition that, you know, you make the names align. So and make sure that like not legally changing your name, but just like
girls are supposed to change their first name and last name.
Yeah, just to make the stars align.
Oh wow. So like, did you guys have to do that? You guys change your names, or?
Oh, she said hell no.
I mean, yes. I mean, listen, the whole world knows you now, so you can't go changing your names.
I'm Richa Sadana. That's just it now.
She's Richard Parvani in my eyes.
God.
Well, listen, I mean, I had heart palpitations with this whole, I mean, like if someone tried to take away my, you know, Grey Goose martini at night, like, I don't know what I would do. Like, let's talk about this. Like, listen, I don't